Yeah, I wrote that one down also, and I actually wrote that I swear that they actually broke the law of physics doing that one because they hovered for a few seconds before he planted him. That was just unreal.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host, Andre C. Right over here, it's the burrito princess herself, Melball.
Are we tacos? Are we nachos? Are we burritos? Are we just a whole freaking Mexican stand over here?
It might not even just be Mexican. We don't know yet. We might get German at some point. Maybe the sauerkraut princess.
Please, no. Ew. Pass. Thank you.
How are you this evening? We're recording this in the evenings. How are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. I do have a pretty nice sunset going on outside here that I had to put up the blackout sheet to kind of block out some of the sun here. It was a nice day. Had a leg day for hump day, I guess. We're recording this on Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I had a leg day at work, just climbing up and down ladders all day. Just my glutes are killing me. And then first week I've done the yard cutting at my house this year. So that was just coming home after work, being very, very tired, and doing that on top of it all. It made for a very long day today, but I'm happy to be here and talking professional wrestling with you.
Yay! Best of Super Juniors.
Yes, we are here to talk Best of Super Juniors Night 3 and 4. But before we get to that, I want to give a big shout out to thank all of you guys for checking the show out, liking, subscribing, and your comments. We really do appreciate hearing from you guys. So thank you so much. And I'll give a big shout out to our boy Mike the Ref for putting us up, simulcasting us on Backbreaker Video. But we are going to get into it. We are here to talk about nights number 3 and 4 of the Best of Super Juniors. I got the same graphic for every night, just general. The general, you see everybody who's in it. It's simple. Just simple.
No need to change it up.
No, we kick it off. Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Kevin Knight. I thought a really fun little opener. A good match. Nothing. I didn't think this one really stood out to me on the show.
For me, there was one match that I took. 2 matches that I took quite extensive notes on. Match 4 and match 5. But yeah, we'll talk about those when we get there. With this one, as you said, really great opener. Yoshinobu Kanemaru really has started to have this tendency of attacking the legs in any way possible whenever he's wrestling, and to set up for that figure 4 finish. And I absolutely love it because he really can just kind of do a thing out of nowhere and just kind of pop it off without you really being able to prepare for it. I did notice in this show, did you notice the sweet lady in the front row? I was trying to figure out what t-shirt she was wearing. It turned out to be a TMTK one, so I thought you would appreciate. She was sitting there like this the whole night. The entire night. She was so happy and so excited. She was either like this or like just in some way just excited with her arms up. And I would do the exact same thing in that situation, especially at ringside with no barricades.
Yeah, because you're like, are they going to hit me? Are they going to hit me? Are they going to hit me? Right? Like
you'd be begging them to hit you depending on who it is.
I've been hit by flying ladders, by wrestlers in Montreal. A wrestler landed on me and we broke my chair. And as a fat guy, you're always worried about sitting on a chair and it breaking underneath you. And when somebody lands on you on a chair that was already like to its limit, because I'm a big dude, and another big dude lands on me, the chair went swoosh. So I've taken my fair share of bumps in professional wrestling just sitting in the crowd, in my opinion. But yeah. I thought this actually this was a fun little match to start. Like nothing really expected. And Kevin Knight showing up as he always does. I think his athleticism is absolutely tremendous. Yoshinobu Kanemaru, the heel master. This guy is. I don't think you can have a bad match. I don't think he can have a bad match.
No, I have to agree. Yeah, I have to agree. I've really been a favorite. He's been a favorite of mine since I started watching. I definitely felt that he was kind of like that underrated character, along with his tag team partner, former tag team partner there. Yeah, really great match, great opener.
Yeah, it's just a fun little opener. It got everybody fired up for the night. I really thought. But in the end, Knight getting the run off the top, follows it up with the pendulum DDT and gets the win. Knight finally got a win here, and now it's not both Douki and Kanemaru getting pins on the champions. This one's got a pin, the other one did not. So yeah, it's still Empire right now.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
Yep. So we move on to second match of the night. It's Taguchi versus Sho. More shenanigans as usual. This is the Sho gives the wrench to the ref, and he's wearing his like old school Hantai shirt or whatever it was. I don't know if I think somebody said it was Hantai.
It's an NJPW Hantai shirt.
Yeah, and says he's gonna wrestle fairly. And then this is where Kevin Kelly gives a shout out to Karen Peterson. I'm a big fan of hers and her coverage of professional wrestling, and because she loves Sho. She was such a fan of him before this. So
most of us were.
Yeah. So again, I really like that he brought that up. It's like, hey, we're getting the old Sho here. At the start, really good match. Like it was good. Like they had a really good transition. Like Taguchi getting some good stuff in. Same with Sho. But then the lights go out. Comes back on. Taguchi's down in the corner. Evil's in the ring. No ref. So Evil kind of pretends like he's the ref and starts them fighting. And then Evil checks Taguchi while Sho low blows him. Evil gives Sho the wrench. He hits him. And hits the shock arrow, and he gets the win. Sho gets 2 points. Got 2 points here. Like out of anybody in his walk, this is the guy for him to beat. Like if they're not going to have him win this tournament, like I was kind of hoping. This is the guy he's going to beat because again, it's Taguchi. Taguchi can take as many losses as you want. And the guy's bulletproof at this point, in my personal opinion. The gang stomped Taguchi, and they beat up the two young lions to try to come in and stop it. And they cut up NJPW in a Hantai shirt.
Yay. That's the gist of it.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot to add to it. It just... I will say this. The Super Junior is really seeing Taguchi kind of not doing all the butt stuff. Like, he still does the hip attacks once in a while, but, like, he really is being very serious in this tournament, which I appreciate a lot.
Yeah. Like, he hit a bum IA and I think on the fourth night, but it wasn't like he wasn't going over the top. That's kind of become his almost his finisher, the bum IA. So, but I have enjoyed him. I thought he's been pretty darn good.
Yeah, we are getting Big Show Taguchi.
Yeah. So we move on. It is Bushi taking on the first time I noticed it. I don't know if it was there on the first few nights. 100 proof Clark Connors. Was that on his ass the first few nights?
On his ass, yes.
Okay.
On the vest, it wasn't the first night, but it was the second.
Okay, I didn't notice it on the second night, and I only noticed it on his ass tonight. So, yeah, dude, the mask from Bushi. It's my highlight of a Bushi match is looking at the mask. I love this one. There was three. There's a face that he had, and there was two other faces on the other part, in the back part of the match. I loved it. I thought it looked really good.
He's always got those really fun masks.
Yeah, so this match was pretty quick. There wasn't much. Like it went by pretty fast. Just quick lariat by Connors early on. Bushi runs him in the corner. It just nothing crazy. And Connors gets to the outside. Connors runs him into the post twice. It's Connors' gimmick of he's going to run people into the post. In the end, Connors hits no chaser, gets the win. I don't really have a lot to say on this one, personally.
No, I don't either. You know, just adding on to what you said, Clark Connors dominating outside. Again, it does seem to be his shtick. Really antagonizing the crowd, too. You know, kind of getting in people's faces. All the girls, not the boys. A little sus, a little rude. Anyway, no Bushi's in the crowd that I could see, which was disappointing. They were all on the second night, though, that we're going to talk about. The 16th.
There you go. I didn't see any, but again, I wasn't looking for them. So
I'm always looking. Don't you worry, I'm on it. Always got to mention Bushi's Tope Suicida. It's just absolutely perfection and just locked on target there. I really like the name of Connor's finish there. The no chaser.
No chaser. It's essentially a Bloody Sunday, but I like it because again he's 100 proof. So
exactly, I like the gimmick.
He's drinking in alcohol straight. Mel's all about that with a Melball mix every second Friday.
I don't think I want to try 100 proof though. That might kill me.
Never know. It's only 50%.
I'm not, you know. I mean, if it's coming from him, sure.
Regular booze is 40%, so it's only an extra 10%.
I'll take it from him. He'll
take his 100 proof, eh?
Andre.
Oh, we're talking about alcohol.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, this match was absolutely phenomenal. And you said you had a bunch of notes, so I'm going to let you go through this one, Mel.
Yeah, I actually think I have the most notes on this one. I think this would probably be my match of the night for this one, which is funny. There's like 3 matches now that Douki has been involved in my favorites. Gotta say, like, he's really, for being the quiet one for just 5 guys, he really has seemed to kind of pull everything together, look-wise, wrestling-wise. Like, everything about him is impressive right now. Like, even his gear looks really, really, really good. And he's looking great. He's performing great. He's putting on, like, banger after banger after banger in the Super Juniors here. Absolutely incredible. There's a spot where Douki missed the baseball slide on the outside to Ishimori and then tried to do the handspring off the apron to set up for, I assume, was going to be some kind of Rana. And Ishimori caught him, ran him into the post. That was kind of like a bit of a slowdown of Douki's momentum in the beginning there. Ishimori really targeted the arm of Douki in this one, taking it outside quite frequently and hitting his arm on the posts and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that Northern Lights suplex that Douki always seems to be doing now, that little twisty-bisty thing.
It looks so good. It looks so good. It's not the traditional one, but it looks unique while just being a traditional move, but looking unique for him.
100%. I absolutely love it. And he actually hit it on Ishimori on the outside there on the entrance ramp. Inside the ring, Ishimori has also seemed to taking off the turnbuckle and running people all the way through into the post. Douki was another victim of this guy. Oh, this is a long one. What do I have here? Ishimori was going for that double knee, kind of almost code breaker looking thing.
The tombstone lung blower thing.
Yeah, Douki countering that, getting him into a wheelbarrow hold and then flowing into what I heard commentary call an orbital plane, before dropping him on his stomach and then rolling him up into a pin. Only getting a 2 out of that and then flowing into the Douki Choki when Ishimori kicked out. I'll have to put the footage in here. It was just so cool. I'm not entirely sure. Like, how else to explain it. Like it looked so neat. It almost looked like he was like wearing Ishimori like a skirt at one point, but like backwards. It was just really, really neat. Again, I'll have to insert it over here while I'm describing it.
I literally wrote it as spinning stretch and slams him front first. Like that. I think if we're talking about the same move.
Did he go into the Douki Choki right after?
Yeah, and then he gets the Douki Choki in the center, and that.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, but I had no real description for it, but it was cool.
Yeah, I heard Kevin on commentary say it was something like an orbital breaker, and I was like, well, we'll just go with that. And it just sounds cool.
Well, the orbital's dry, and he kind of went bang and like face slamming into the mat. And that's your orbital bone getting smashed up. So
yeah. Douki hitting Daybreaker. We always love that springing little DDT there. And the Douki Bomber seeming to be something that he's going to be adding to his repertoire going forward. I'm not going to complain about that. He hits them so good and very, very Taichi-esque. Very, very tight, because Daichi just throws everything into it. Douki does the exact same size or same thing, and now he has the size, so may as well. Yeah, Andre, what do you think of this one?
I thought really good match, and like Ishimori just kind of on a roll here. He's been like having killer matches every night, or at least up to this point. And even on night 4, I don't know if it was like highlight match of the night, but it was a really good match. But he's solely like I never really think of Ishimori, but he always delivers for me in a ring. And Douki, again, like if I've been saying for so long now, this guy has really grown on me, and he's just like I find him so unique in everything that he does, and I love him. In the end, though, Ishimori reverses into the Mystica, but Douki reverses it into the seatbelt hold pin, but then Ishimori reverses into the bone lock and gets the tap out.
Yeah. I was really disappointed. I really wanted Douki to take this one, but you're right. Ishimori is on a roll, and we've been underestimating the muscle chihuahua for too long. He's been a little quiet there in Bullet Club the last little while.
There's a lot of loud members right now.
But like I'm saying, over the last little while, he's been like pretty quiet. Even when he was tagging with ELP and they were the world's cutest tag team, he was certainly the quieter of the two. He had more personality, much like Yo does with Leo, but he's certainly more the sit, stay quiet kind of one in Bullet Club. With David Finlay's kind of hostile takeover, this could be the emergence of the Bone Soldier that we've been kind of waiting for.
I really do hope so. I'd love to see a little more from him, like personality-wise. 100%. But we move on to what was one of my... Like, I have 2 matches. I can't decide which one I love more. This one was absolutely phenomenal. Eagles and Akira, I think, just killed it in the ring because these two they had such good flow together. I'm really appreciating Eagles has that ability to fly, but he's really been playing a lot of the ground game, working the knees, working for that Ron Miller. Like it's really been just, and like this is the first match where I noticed him doing the ricochet move where he'll go for a dive and somebody will move and then he'll hit the rope and like backflip into the center. He doesn't land in the superhero pose, but he's doing that ricochet bounce back into the center. I don't know. These two, I think, it was the chemistry these two had in how they played off each other, how they worked together. Because Akira's like the edge he kind of has right now since losing the tag titles. He's got this like chip on his shoulder, this anger in him, and it makes him just so much better in a sense. Like, and I even wrote at the start of this, I'd love to hear Akira or Eagles on commentary during the tour, and I'd get Eagles the next night.
Go figure.
Not even knowing he was on it, but it's just like they're like Akira trying for the cheeky Nando's for doing his leader's move, and I really love that. But like just like the reversals, like the reverse of the turbo backpack into the poison Rana was tremendous. And then I don't know, these two I thought were so good. And Eagles dodging the fireball, I thought he was setting up to win right there, and then it just kept going. Akira, but in the end, Akira moves on gets out of the way on the 450, hits the fireball, gets the win. Like this, absolutely tremendous. I thought these two, like, just for better word, burned it down, man. Like they really did. Yeah.
You know, you literally said almost every single point that I wrote down, literally to the point where they have such great in-ring chemistry. Yeah, these guys, they have an incredible chemistry that makes you invested in the match, and no matter what's kind of happening, because there is both as much entertainers and showmen as they are professional wrestlers and athletes. Really, really enjoyed this match. I am, of course, enjoying the fire that has been lit under Akira, because that means he'll do better, and that means he'll win.
It's very possible.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but there was I don't know if it was on this night or the night before, on the second night, Kevin Kelly talking about it or maybe it was either the first night or tonight, because he was talking with Chris Charlton about it. He's like, has Eagles kind of taken himself kind of out of the Super Junior Tag League, because with being associated with Team DK now, there's no other junior for him.
I mentioned that to you last time too. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah, like I think about it, it's like, okay, could this be Fujita's call up? Really, it's possible, but in that case, he's still a young lion. So it's like, will we see the addition of another junior to TMDK before the end of the year?
I personally think it would be a good idea for Fujita to be that person. He has been accompanying Eagles down to the ring for these tournament matches. I think it would be a good idea to have him continue to study with him. He can only learn more and more and more with people like Zack Sabre Jr. and Robbie Eagles kind of helping him out. He can learn to be a little bit more personable and have more personality, like he has interacting with Shane Hayes, that's for sure.
I think we need Teats back, because we gotta have Teats teach Fujita some power spots. Is what we need.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain having big Teats back.
Yeah, I just think that'd be funny. Just if he does some like big guy move, and then Fujita come in and try to do the same thing. I think it would just
be like doing anything.
It would just be an absolutely tremendous sight to see him trying to copy like the big guy move from Tito.
Yeah, you have this big roaring T-Rex of a person stomping around stuff, and then you have Fujita running in. Around.
It would be so good, I think. We move on to, I think, probably one of the matches that let me down most on this night was Kushida versus Teton. This is a match that I was so looking forward to. I thought these two would be like just killing it, but it was short, and it was kind of there. And again, you're right. It's the Kushida character that he's been portraying in this tournament. It's kind of just, eh.
It's very, I mean, as I've referenced before, it's very Kenta-ish. When Kenta came back to NJPW here, he's been struggling a hot minute to try to almost prove his worth here, and Kushida seems to be having that same struggle in this tournament. But as we always know, NJPW likes to do those Cinderella stories. Could Kushida be the Cinderella story in this?
Please, God, no. There's so many guys that are on. Well, there's so many guys on the build. There's so many guys that could benefit. Like Leo Rush winning this tournament would be awesome, because to have that rematch with Hiromu, like having a guy like Wato or Akira or just somebody coming up to win this tournament, even if they don't beat Hiromu, would just be amazing. It's just that, I don't know. I just and he's doing that jumping off the top into a Cobra twist thing. Did it again on this one. I
mean, physically, like in the laws of physics speaking, it doesn't make sense. It's like a build up to nothing, really. Story in this one was definitely Kushida working that arm of Teton, which is good, because usually people work Teton's knee. So it was nice to have a little break.
Yeah.
Teton with his big dives, big lucha dives. Gotta love that. I really felt that Kushida kind of tried to slow this one down a little bit, and I don't feel that it ended up working well for him. He did try to slow. I felt tried to slow Teton down with like the submission style stuff, almost forgetting that CMLL like that's kind of like their secondary thing.
It felt like a clash almost, not like Teton and it's just the submission style really clashed with how Teton works.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. It felt a little off. The end very sudden.
Yeah, like a tope con hilo from Teton, and hits the springboard double foot stomp and gets the win. I didn't expect him to.
I mean, the double stomp is one of his finishes, I believe.
Yeah, and he had that the double team version with Hiromu. Or with Bushi, when they were teaming up last year. So it is, but I didn't expect it. You know what I mean? It kind of it seemed early. It seemed just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Too short.
Yeah. We move on. It's Yo versus Jam Maloney. I came up with the greatest name if these two ever become a tag team. They could be Yo-Loney. It's stupid. I have bad jokes. I understand. I know that. Yo coming out doing like I never really noticed before. He's coming out doing Matt Hardy V1s.
This is the Roppongi 3K thing.
No, it was V1 first though.
Oh yes, I know. I grew up in the Attitude Era too. Girl.
I love this. Like this is his sign. This is what he does for his sign. I was like, I like that. I like that. I like the evolution of it. I really do. Yo acting like an asshole, like early in this, like just being a dick, getting in the face, and just like I absolutely love it. I really do. Like it's finally having me notice him because he's not just a guy in the ring who happens to be good at wrestling. That's entirely of the roster, or most of it, outside of a couple guys.
I could have done without the chase around the freaking auditorium, though.
Yeah, that was just kind of dumb.
Yeah. That was all the way dumb.
Yeah. I thought these had a really good match. Yeah, it just I think they just worked quite well together. The speed chops by Kojima, or the Kojima speed chops by Yo. I almost said this by Kojima, but that'd be awesome if he showed up in this match because I don't think he's a junior.
It's just a random power move you have. I choose you, Kojima. Go, machine gun chop.
Yeah, I thought these two actually, in the end, Maloney hits the gore, and then hits it is confirmed by listening to Kevin Kelly, the Driller Killer, and gets the win. And Maloney doing the UE symbol, like high-fiving people with the UE symbol on his way out. I was like, yeah. But I didn't expect Maloney to beat Yo.
Every time you say Maloney, I think you're saying baloney, and I just giggle Maloney, a little in my head. Don't forget the Yoshiguroshi. He also pulled that off in this one. Yoshiguroshi.
Yeah, I love the Yoshiguroshi. I still think Slamaguroshi's good, but Yoshiguroshi makes more sense.
Something I heard Kevin and Chris start talking about with Yo, imitating all of the kind of Hontai legends that he kind of works with, doing the Mongolian chops, the last match, the machine gun chops, and almost the Kojima, I'm gonna get you, nasty words, and the jumping forearm, the Yoshiguroshi, something that Gedo does, that he works with. It is interesting to see him kind of almost doing an ELP-esque copycatting thing of the people who have been influences in his life. You pretty much mentioned mostly, again, everything that I had mentioned, which is good. Keeps these videos short. Is it the Driller Killer or the Drilla?
Kevin, drill, because it's listed
Drilla
online.
Is written on the back of his shin pads.
Yeah, because it's listed just online, just as the Drilla. But Kevin keeps saying driller killer. Is what Kevin's saying. Kevin's saying driller killer. Or maybe saying drilla killa.
Maybe he's just not hip yet.
Yeah, maybe he should be saying drilla killa. But yeah, I really like that
drilla because it is written on the back of the shin pads.
Yeah, the drilla killa.
Either way, really, really great match. You're absolutely right. Yo was acting like an ass.
And I love it. Lio Rush is the best thing to happen to Yo.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying I don't like it.
We move on to my other match of the evening. TJP, Mike Bailey. Holy shit, these two, like, they flowed so well. Like, again, like we talk about the technical, we talked about in with the Teton match and Kushida. It's the technical versus that lucha libre style. I think the technical style versus the martial arts style of Bailey worked absolutely phenomenal, because like TJP could catch kicks and pull them into moves, and like Bailey could always find his way out and hit kicks and find his way out into a martial arts move. And I just thought these two flowed so well together in the way they worked it in this match. I thought they were absolutely tremendous. Both these guys, like TJP getting that front chancery in the ropes, just like pulls a headlock in the ropes. I loved it. I really did. Like, I just thought these two really, like, just, I don't know, it was just the chemistry they had. And again, I'm a homer for TJP. Don't get me wrong. And I'm a homer for Bailey. I think, like, he's one of the reasons he's one of the few reasons actually, like, not that Impact's bad, but he's one of the reasons I tune into Impact when I do, because he's that good. And I think, and just, I thought these two just, the way they floated this match, the way they countered each other, and the way they would find ways to hit their moves in certain ways was absolutely phenomenal. And Bailey, like, just pulling out new moves in this match, essentially hitting almost a one-wing angel.
Oh yes, that really quick thing, yeah.
Yeah, so at the end, he gets, TJP misses the Mamba Splash, and Bailey gets a tornado kick in the corner, and then puts him up on the turnbuckle and pulls him onto his shoulders and hits and pulls him forward. And it's essentially an electric chair driver, because he doesn't swing the leg off into the driver like Kenny Omega does. But yeah, I can't recall seeing him do that move. But again, I haven't watched everything Bailey's done. He hasn't done it so far, and picks up a big win here, pinning TJP. And the best, I really loved offering the handshake after the match, to shake hands. Bailey helps him up. They have a quick little hug. I was like, I like the mutual respect there, because I appreciated that there. I really did. After the match they had, having seen them go like, yeah, we're cool. Because like, you either good guys. Well, he's the public enemy. He's not the worst person in the world, I guess.
That's true. He might have some heel tendencies, but he's a good guy at heart. Yeah, there was actually one spot that TJP usually does. It's part of his regular lucha kind of signature stuff, where there's like just a series of twists and turns, a random cartwheel, into a headstand where he scissors the head and then does a little flippy over thingamajiggy. I just absolutely love that. Again, it just speaks to the uniqueness, his style that TJP has. I'm endlessly entertained by him. You could put him in a match with anyone, and I'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah, he's I think one of the best guys going today, and I don't think he gets his due. He really 100%. Doesn't. We move on to the semi-main event of night 3. It is El Desperado versus Master Wato. This is a good little match. I thought they did well. I didn't take a lot of notes for this one. I think I was just kind of in the lull. It was a good match. Nothing really against it. Wato with a great spot, hitting that code red and gets a 2 count, then transitions it right into the Vendaval. I really thought I really liked the flow of that, the way he hit, like, to pull it in. I really did like that. These two did a good job together. Like, I don't have a lot of highlights from this. There's a TTD, as Kevin Kelly called it. It was like a Michinoku style pile driver. Like, he had him like slam, then he dropped down with it.
On Desperado, right?
Yeah, from Master Wato, but he doesn't cover him. And Kevin Kelly's going, cover, and he's like, he should have covered him. And he goes up to the top and misses the I always call it the spiral tap because AJ Styles used to do it way back in the day and called it the spiral tap. And then Desperado follows it up, hits spear and a Falcon Arrow, gets the 2 count, hits Pinche Loco, and gets the win.
Mm-hmm. He's been waiting to pull out Pinche Loco for a win for a while too. Wato, I felt like this match was less of a match about the wrestling and more of a match about an emotional story between these two. I was almost getting the feel that Wato was coming into this hungry and wanting to, really pick up this win, whereas Desperado was kind of almost coming in like, hey, you're my friend. Like I almost felt like he felt like he was holding back for a little bit. And at some point in time, he just snapped and became the old Desperado that we know and love and just fed it to Wato and picked up that win. Yeah, I also noticed like there was when this switch kind of happened before, Desperado was almost kind of like asking Wato to go into things. He would just kind of move him about where he wanted to. When that snap kind of happened, you'd see Desperado forcing Wato's head down into things, forcing him into things. There was a little bit more of an attitude change. At the end there, I really enjoyed how the end was kind of almost felt like a piano falling down the stairs. Not in a bad way. That makes it sound like really chaotic and disorganized, but it was actually just so perfect because each guy was popping off their own stuff. Like it was just signature after signature after signature after signature. And it just was almost like a swell of emotion as a viewer to be like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I really enjoyed it. Again, it wasn't something that I took a ton of notes on, but I just felt that the story within it, with the characters kind of sort of being on the same team now and kind of having that reluctant camaraderie on Wato's side and absolute loyalist on Desperado's side, I thought was adorable to see.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. It's just like I don't know. I kind of think I was in a lull at this point. Again, this was the 9th match in a row that I was watching, so I got to learn to start breaking these up over 2 watches maybe, because it affects me by the time I hit this point. But the main event brought me back in. This was a really good match, a great follow up from their match at was it Dantaku?
Wrestling Dontaku?
No, was this Sakura Genesis?
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah. Yes.
I think it was Sakura Genesis. These two, these two just have chemistry. They have natural chemistry with each other. Like they're smirking at each other when the bell sounds, just like giving each other looks. It's just, I don't know, it's so good. Like I find, like the Hiromu trying the Death Valley Driver on the floor. Leo gets out, hits the suplex, and then he gets a chair from the fans. He places Hiromu on it. So anytime you go running around the ring and you're not a big dude, you're gonna get hurt. Like it's rare if it's not a big dude, like a big guy doing the run around the ring thing. You're probably getting thrown. And as he comes back around, Hiromu pops up from the chair and just belly to bellies him over his head. And Leo crushes the chair, which is standing up in a sitting position. And he came down like back on the back of the chair. Holy shit, did that not look fun to take? And you could hear him go, and I truly believe it was like he hurt himself hitting that. Like,
well, I mean, that's what happens when you put your butt through a freaking chair. And he broke the chair in 2 places.
Yeah, I put my butt through a chair or 2.
What's that?
I put my butt through a chair or 2.
Can't relate. I actually didn't take a whole ton of notes on this one. I actually just enjoyed this one. It really did feel like almost like a 2.0, but just as good as their first kind of meeting there at Sakura Genesis.
Like I got it. Athleticism from Leo and what he can do. Like when he Spider-Man's, like he pops up and Spider-Man's into the corner, and he just, I don't know. I don't know. He's special in like I don't think there's anyone quite like him in professional wrestling.
No, I agree.
Just with his uniqueness and just because I think he has the whole package. He's just never gotten the right chance because he has that charisma. He has that in-ring ability. He has he gives you something different in how he portrays himself and how he wrestles, how he talks, how he moves. It's all unique, and I'm mesmerized every time I watch him wrestle because it brings you in, man. It really does. Mm-hmm. So the end of the match, they end up fighting on top, and Leo ends up headbutting Hiromu off and hits that final hour frog splash, gets the win. But this over match was very, very good. Not quite not the Sakura Genesis match that they had, or maybe I'm getting that wrong. I know it was at a show in the last month.
We've watched a lot of wrestling in the last little bit.
But these two, I think it was Sakura Genesis, because then Hiromu came out later in the night to challenge Sonata. But I thought these two just, I don't know, they have that flow. And Hiromu hitting the RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stunner. Or not the stunner, the cutter.
No. Hiromu hit the, he was going, Leo was going foul out, and he pulled the cutter and hit the RKO out of nowhere. Mm. I love that. I love it. You got anything else on this one?
No.
Perfect. That. And we're going to move on to night 4 on the 16th. Night 4. So we're going to have a little bit of a question here because Mel missed a match for her notes, so she's not sure which one she missed.
Yeah, no, it's not this one.
Yeah, so we started out Yo versus Clark Connors. I think Yo getting in Connor's face in this one, I don't know. It was very. He's gonna get the living piss kicked out of him at some point with his attitude, and I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, Yo taking the corner pad off super early in this match. The ref stops him from using it, and Connors ends up knocking Yo down and takes the corner pad and uses it on him and smothering with it. And the ref doesn't do shit fuck all.
Well, I mean, he should have actually not taken it off to begin with, Yano.
Yeah. He's doing too much of this shit from other people. It's really gonna cost him. And it does here. It was a good little match. I think they worked well together. Yo's ability to reverse a lot of what Clark Connors was doing was really good. Yeah. In the end, though, Yo slides out and he comes back in a minute or two later. I don't know why I wrote that. And gets in the face of Connors. That's the aftermath. I apologize. I went to the wrong line. I'm dumb. Connors hits a power slam, follows it up with a spear, but can't get no chaser. Yo gets dropped in the exposed corner. Connors comes charging in, but he ends up hitting the exposed corner, and Yo gets to roll up kind of out of nowhere and gets the win. And then this is where Yo goes to the floor really quick. Then he comes back in and gets in the face of Connors. And Connors drops him and then hits no chaser. And just beats the shit out of him with the corner pad and then with the chair. It's just dude, you won. Just leave.
Would have been nice if, partner would have came out and helped him or something. Yeah.
Leo was getting ready for his match, man.
It was the main event. He had time.
You can't risk yourself getting hurt and not being able to win your match in the main event.
If I'm Yo, I'm taking note of priorities.
But Leo goes out there and talks shit, but he doesn't need Yo. He doesn't have Yo back him up because he can back himself up.
Oh yes, he clearly backed himself up.
Yo cannot back himself up yet, so he shouldn't be doing this shit where he's going to need backup.
He certainly backed himself up in this one, didn't he?
But I love it.
Himself out into the floor.
But I love him I love him having this attitude because it gives me something I can latch onto with his character. At least that's the main thing.
It certainly makes the character palatable.
Instead of just being there.
Yeah.
We move on. It's Taguchi versus Titan. This was really fun. I thought
this was the match I missed.
How did you miss a Titan match?
I don't know. Well, we figured that one out quickly.
I guess I'm doing most of the work here. So, Taguchi and Titan doing the running back and forth spot.
I love that.
And then Titan switches up, makes Taguchi, but Taguchi legitimately gets tired, and he's just like, "Huh," and he has to slow down and stop. I loved it. Like Taguchi running out of steam. I loved it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Titan missing the flip to the floor. And Taguchi gets that handspring backflip he does to the floor, and Taguchi getting that springboard senton onto Titan on the floor, and then sent him back in and hit that beautiful springboard hip attack. Again, he's using the ass every now and again, but he's keeping it subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
subtle butt stuff.
Subtle.
Just the tip.
Fudge.
Back to the subtle butt stuff.
A bunch of quick kicks by Titan, but he misses a splash off the touch, and Gooch gets the bum-aye for 2. In the end of the match comes Tornado DDT by Titan, and for 2, and then Titan locks in the Muda lock, and Taguchi taps out pretty much immediately.
Yeah, like almost instantaneously.
Like same thing that would happen with TJP. He tapped out like that. Like
yes, he was also in a very awkward position though.
I can't get the click from a snap.
Come on, sir. Now here we are, just snapping away.
my hand hurts from like doing work today. Just muscles. I can't snap properly. But you got anything else on this one? Even though you don't have any notes.
No, I'm just adding it to my notes now.
Now you got to go back. You have to go back and watch it and take notes. We move on. It's Bushi versus Robbie Eagles. So how many Bushis were there other than the main one?
There were 5. There were 5 all in the front row and a baby. They were holding a baby.
Oh, we'll talk about babies later. Come to the main event.
What are we talking about? Yeah.
Pure white mask with spikes for Bushi, and it was cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. It almost reminded me of there was a Marvel race of aliens that kind of looked like that to me.
I know which one you're talking about. I just don't know the name.
Yeah, it's not the Skrulls, is it?
No, they're green, and they're kind of.
But like the shape of the face though looked very similar. Comparable.
Maybe I'm not. I don't remember. I'd have to like put them side by side. Right there, they're gonna appear on the screen side by side right now.
Well, we'll hopefully get on that.
The magic of editing, but I don't know if it actually happened or not because that's in post. And
we'll see.
Our editor is very, very good, but I don't know if they can do it. But yeah, I thought really good back and forth because both guys really athletic, having ability to really like reverse each other. And Robbie, they both working knees in this match because Bushi I don't really see because isn't his move like a knee bar or something? His submission, I think it's a knee bar.
I think so. I'm not. I'm not very good with the move names.
Yeah, but he always working the knee, and then Robbie Eagles working the knee for that Ron Miller special. Beautiful rewind kick into a spinning fisherman neck breaker by Bushi. Just transition.
Best rewind kick.
Dude, so good. So good. I don't think anybody can do it quite like him, man. But in the end, Eagles hits the running ensiguri after slipping out of a backslide pin and gets the win. Robbie Eagles moving up, getting points, and Bushi just
Celebrating with this Ichiban Sweet Boy after 2.
Bushi, man, that big fat goose egg after 4. I don't think your boy is going to be going to the finals. Or to the semifinals. I don't think.
That's okay. Miyamori is supposed to.
Because again, there's going to be 2 guys coming out of each block going into the semifinals. We could get 2 A blockers in the finals. It's very possible. It could happen.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We get Douki versus TJP. This match was actually pretty gosh darn fun. These 2 really worked well together. Like the way Douki can get a Douki Choki is kind of amazing. Like just like all the ways he got him in the Douki Choki a few times in this match, and like just the ways like he caught him off the Mamba Splash, and just other all the ways you can just pull somebody into a Douki Choki. Just he literally caught him into the Douki Choki off the Mamba Splash twice in the match. And I just love I think these 2 worked really well together. The brawl on the ramp and just fighting up the ramp, TJP getting the suplex, and that's where Douki got his little twisting Northern Light suplex, was on the ramp. Douki with an awesome double stomp off the top for 2, and then hits that daybreak. Gotta shout out the daybreak every gosh darn time. 2JP, the way he transitioned out of Suplex de la Luna to get around the backside and crucifix bomb him was just the tremendous nature of how he got around, like to come up and then swing himself around to his back. He never, without touching the ground, and get him into the crucifix and hit the crucifix bomb was great.
Yeah, I wrote that one down also, and I actually wrote that I swear that they actually broke the law of physics doing that one, because they hovered for a few seconds before he planted him. That was just unreal.
Yeah, it was great. In the end, though, TJP gets the final cut out of Suplex de la Luna, hits the running knee to the head for 2, heads up, and finally connects with the Mamba Splash for the win. He got one right early in the match, but he had tried 2 more and got caught. And so hits the Mamba Splash, picks up the win.
Arguably the first one was the best. He was still all in his intro gear and everything. It looked freaking cool.
Yeah, that looked really good because he was all geared up. I really liked that. I really did. And then this is where Robbie Eagles joins the commentary team. So we get, and I thought between him and TJP, I'll say TJP was the better commentator, but I think TJP just has that a natural charisma there, and has that natural ability to talk. Like I've seen it from him for years, that he has that ability, just never really given that ability to really showcase himself talking. And I thought he did really good, but I thought Eagles had some really good insight in match wise when it came to technical side. He did have some great insight here. But we move on to Battle of the Empire, ladies and gentlemen. It's the newest member, Dan Maloney, taking on Francesco Akira. Dude, really, this was not a long match. This was one of the shorter matches of the night, because there's always one or two that are shorter. And this was one of them. I thought but what they did together, I think they had really good chemistry here. I thought they really worked well together, despite because you could, but how do I say this? Akira did not seem like the angry dude that he's been coming out as, because usually comes out with that chip on his shoulder, but he's coming out against a teammate. So he didn't come off angry and that he had with a chip on his shoulder. He just seemed they were pretty chill off the top, these two. I know, I kind of like that, seeing Akira kind of the more calm, collected Akira in this one. But yeah,
it shows his range.
Yeah, very much so. The end of this match, Akira ends up flipping out of the Drillakilla, hits a super kick and a rocket kick to the head, followed by the fireball, and gets a win. This didn't surprise me. It really didn't. Maloney's the newer member of their team. He's the newer member of the roster. I was saying, on night 3, I was quite surprised he got the win, where this one did not surprise me in the least, but it was a very, very good match.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I agree. The thrust kick that Akira does, like, is just like a thing of beauty. The extension that he gets on it, the height that he gets on it. But in this match in particular, I don't know if it was just a distance thing or what. He had to really stretch out to connect that foot. And to for whatever reason, he stretched his arm out too. I was like, that could be on a ballet stage. That thing is so perfect. And you wouldn't even be able to tell. I absolutely loved it. When he was setting Akira up for the Drilla, I was actually really concerned. At that point, I was like, oh no, Amore, no, kick out. No, he didn't even need to. He just kind of flippy dippied out of it. I really liked this match. I actually felt it was really, really good. And then we kind of saw how, like, I don't want to say like the status was a kind of established, but it definitely kind of was with this one, I felt. Maloney and him shaking hands and stuff afterwards, United Empire shake. I enjoyed that. It was a really fun match. I think it could have gone longer, but it didn't need it. It did what it needed to in the small amount of time that it had.
Yeah, and again, you didn't need this one to go long. Like, again, it was there. It did what it needed to do. It got Akira the win, but it didn't make Dan Maloney look bad. Like he had him set up to win, and Akira just slips out and hits a couple kicks, hits the fireball, and takes it. Like, it's not like he stole the win, but Maloney made him earn it in that sense. Like, you had to really
100%.
earn it because he had hit that poison roundup, but Maloney came right back with the gore. So like, for him to flip out of the driller killer like that and do what he did and win, I thought, great match. Moving on, Kushida versus Mike Bailey. Kushida in his technical tights tonight, his WWE attire. I don't like it.
Me neither. It was just, it gave me so many bad flashbacks.
To what, NXT? Yeah, that I don't know. When they made him put on those tights, I lost all interest in Kushida in NXT, and I already didn't care for NXT at that point anyways. And I don't know, when he puts these tights on, I'm just like, oh, we're getting okay. Where's the charisma's gone? The little, you know what I mean? Like, like, I don't know. I hate him in those tights. Bailey full on kicks the ring post. Fuck, dude. Like, I've seen people break their legs kicking another person's leg. Like, I watched Chris Weidman do it. I watched Conor McGregor do it. Anderson Silva. And they're kicking a leg. A leg is not as hard as a goddamn post. I know you're wearing a kick pad, but dude, you can still break your leg. Like, don't kick posts. Like, simple as that. Don't kick posts.
Yeah.
And then Kushida pulls a knee bar on the floor right after he kicks the post, and like, Bailey's selling just like like, just so good, so good. I thought these two I think this is a vast improvement for Kushida over the day before with Teton. I think they flowed better together, and I think they have history together. I don't know if they wrestle each other, but again, they were both in Impact at the same time. So again, there's a familiarity there. I think so. It makes it probably easier to work together. But yeah, I thought these two really did a good job. Kushida with that stupid, he didn't do it. He didn't do the jump into the Cobra Twist this time. Just apply the Cobra Twist. So it made a lot more sense.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. In the end, Kushida rolls, catches a knee bar, and then ends up. Sorry, it like ends up pulling the other leg and like makes Bailey tap out. Like,
yeah, I felt the end of this was very odd. Like, I understand what it was they were trying to do, where he like locks the second leg, and oh my god, it hurts so much more. Tap out. It just felt weird. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I would because when he missed the ultimate weapon, and Kushida pulled that hoverboard lock and then ended up turning into his old finish, his really old finisher of the small package driver. I think they should have ended it on the small package driver because that's a move that had won him titles, right? So like I really think that should have been the end actually with the small package driver. But they went to the knee bar and crossed the other leg into it, and I'm like, it didn't look effective. When he
didn't look like it was doing anything.
Like when he had just a straight knee bar, knee bars suck. But when he brought the other leg in, it's almost like he helped close it up and it took the pressure away almost.
I thought so also. That's why I kind of was confused when it ended there.
Yeah, it was just, you didn't expect it, right? Like, I understand having to establish other moves to like build your repertoire, but it just looked. Don't do it in a tournament like this. Establish it in matches on six-man tags and things like that. Establish those moves there. Yeah, maybe he has and I missed it, but usually it's a hoverboard lock or something that he wins those with. So,
This actually felt more like almost like a sparring session at the beginning of it than a wrestling match. I felt Kushida almost forcing Bailey into it because Bailey was straight up trying to wrestle. Whereas Kushida kept, putting on his guard, rolling around the floor. He really did force Bailey into that kind of martial arts style kind of fight before it did transition into a straight wrestling match. I felt that Kushida was on a mission in this match. He was really, 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 really determined to get that win and get on the board, like in general, not starting off particularly good. I'm happy to see him on the board. I don't know if it should have been Bailey that he got the board numbers from, but it is what it is.
It's all about the math, right? It's all about the math at the end. And like,
I hate
you're talking about this. None of us like math, but you talk about the Cinderella story. And the thing is, with Kushida having 3 losses, if you do it right, he could end up with 12 points and take that second place in his block to go on to the semifinals. So again, you have that possibility of that Cinderella story if you want to tell that story. I just don't think he's the guy to tell it with because, again, right now he's your junior tag champ. He shouldn't be a Cinderella story at that point. You want, when he comes out of this, I want to be setting up his junior tag title match at Dominion. I want to know, is it TJP and Akira again? Because I'm perfectly okay with that. I think a follow-up to that match would be absolutely tremendous.
100%.
But like, I don't want to see him. Like, I have no desire at all for Kushida to be in essentially the semi-main of Dominion challenging Hiromu. Yes, Hiromu beating Kushida is a true passing of the torch of the old guard of the juniors to the new guard, but he's already done it. He's already
got
beat
that
him.
like how many second win on him,
yeah, and just I don't know. I don't want to see it. I really, and you're not going to put the title on. And the thing is, I'd rather see somebody else that's on the rise come in. I'd rather see somebody on the rise come in and win it, and be the one to take it from Hiromu, so Hiromu can go jump into the heavyweight division and go to the G1. That's what I want to see personally. Yeah,
we'll just have to wait and see what we get.
Yeah, I got a little long-winded on that. I apologize. But yeah, we move on. It's El Desperado, Despi versus Kevin Knight. I thought these two had a really worked really well together. Again, Kevin Knight's like springboardy flying style really worked with Desperado. Desperado, for being junior, it's a very good base for a lot of guys. I think they worked really well together. Knight, the beautiful topic on Hilo to the floor, looks so good. Despi just like working that knee over of Kevin Knight, like it's very different from. I mean, Knight did get to work the leg of Desperado a little bit, Yeah, I thought these two did great well. The guitarra angel, as Kevin says, the guitarra angel.
Guitarra de la Angel.
Yeah, it's such like a blue thunder bomb style move, and Despy gets a 2 out of it. I thought really good. In the end, Kevin Knight goes for a power bomb, but Desperado slips out, hits that pinche loco, and takes the win.
Yeah. I felt like this was another match where like Desperado was so slowly losing his cool throughout the match, just getting annoyed with how, because every time like Desperado seemed to do something, Knight came back almost instantaneously. And I feel like it almost grated on Desperado's patience. You know, he's trying to be a good guy, coming out of Suzuki-gun, joining all strong style. You know, now he's picking a fight with the Pitbull. You know, I don't know. It felt like he was slowly losing his crap in this one, and I enjoyed it. I felt that Knight was also trying to flex a little bit of power at the beginning here, trying to muscle Desperado around for certain moves. It worked really, really well for him. I thought that it ended up looking really, really good. As you mentioned, the in-ring chemistry with these guys was really, really good. Really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I thought really fun, enjoyable match. Kind of right in the middle, so it kind of lets you breathe while kind of bringing you back up a little. You're like, oh. And then we get let down. Because this was just stupid.
This was the worst. Like, it had so much potential to be something so cool and fun and unique. And it was just
crap.
It was garbage. It was just not awesome. This was a waste of time.
When you waste 5 minutes just off the hop in a match like this, I expect when Hiromu comes back and gets in it, for him to kind of win it out of nowhere and end it. Is how, like, I don't think this match should have lasted more than the actual in-ring time in more than a minute. Because with all the shit,
went really long.
Because the shit where Show comes out in his street clothes, and he's got a speech prepared. It's supposedly from Hiromu, and as he's talking, Kevin's calling him a liar, and we don't believe you. And he's demanding the announcer say he's a winner by forfeit because supposedly the note says Hiromu is forfeiting the match, but the ref reads it and Show bows, the announcer reads it. Show bows, tries to force Marty to announce him the winner and raise his hand. Like, he pulls Marty's hand up. Marty won't do it. Show leaves the ring and Evil joins him. Legitimately, I wrote, this is the worst House of Torture segment we've ever done, in my opinion, because it was just so pointless. So they're on the ramp. Evil raises Show's hand. Hiromu comes out all tied up and takes out Show and Evil with the double drop kick, and just we get into the match, and then we went for another how long it was. Just added on more time, and again, in something like this, he should have come out, wrecked house, and taken the win off the Show, which he ended up doing in the end. We got a bunch of Evil interference, just skiing with Hiromu the whole time, and just Show showed a couple shows of brilliance. That triple powerbomb, I really liked that. But it was a lone highlight for him in all of the rest of it.
Yeah, the only thing I have highlighted is the bit at the end.
Yeah, so in the end, Hiromu reverses Shock Arrow into a Falcon Arrow and gets a super kick. He tosses him over, then tries a Sunset Bomb, but Evil hits him with a chair. And it's like, come on, fucking shitty refs. So Show gets the crossarm pile driver, only gets 2. Tries Shock Arrow, but Hiromu fights it off. Gets a submission, but Evil interrupts the ref. Show gets the wrench, but he's stopped by the ref. Hiromu ends up taking out Evil and hits the everything is Hiromu onto Show, and then he ends up hitting the time bomb and getting the win.
Chaos, glorious chaos.
And they were nowhere to be found on top of it all.
Well, I mean, they weren't really involved, but LIJ wasn't anywhere either.
Yeah, that's the other problem I had with it is
I mean, to be fair, all of the heavyweights are probably not there.
Yeah, but you can't get Takagi. You know you're going to do this spot tonight. You can't get Takagi to do a run, to get him to show up in this town to do a run at the end. You pay him for one night to do a run in at the end, or a Naito or whoever. Like, I guess there's only the 4 of them now with Bushi. But
I mean, all I gotta say is, damn, these hoes ain't loyal.
Well, you gotta check your stock, man. You gotta look at, like, even House of Torture has each other's backs more than LAJ does.
You know who doesn't, though, in comparison? United Empire. They don't let their boys get beat up.
They all have each other's back. We all know that.
Huh?
They all have each other's back. You know that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, that was the point I was making. No one is more unified at NJPW than the United Empire.
Because they're united. It's in their name.
I mean, what the heck does that mean for Great Heel Bash?
They bash the heels of each other greatly.
Jeepers, Murphy.
They bash each other. They bash each other with their heels greatly.
Sure. Sure. Let's get away from this nonsense, because this was depressing.
Yoshinobu Kanemaru versus Master Wato. I really didn't care for this. It was just there. It wasn't bad. Again, not bad. Again, I don't think Kanemaru could have a bad match.
Mm-hmm.
It was just there for me personally. I didn't have any, like, again, it's this 9th match of the night. It gets to me most of the time, and I don't know. It just, maybe I was because it was a really
good match. It was just a little, I don't want to say repetitive, but it's like it was Kanemaru working the leg. It was Master Wato fighting his fight, and you know, it wasn't a bad match by any means. It was very late in the night.
Yeah, and I also watched this at like 1 a.m. That might have been part of it. But Wato ends up stopping the figure 4, gets a Trouble in Paradise, follows it up with a bridging high angle German, and gets the win. And again, I kind of, like, not that it was bad, but a little bit of an underwhelming finish. Like, just.
It was a little womp.
Yeah.
It was still a decent match though for Wato. And like a semi-main for him too. I felt that this was a good opportunity for him to kind of step up a little bit, show what he could do. You know, if we're wanting to have him potentially in that title picture, he needs to be able to show he's a good champion, right?
Yeah. So we move on to the main event of the evening. It's Lio Rush, Taiji Ishimori. I thought these two had a good match, but I think it was like, I don't know if it's. This wasn't Leo's best match of this tournament. And I think I can say that for pretty much the entire night. This is, out of the 4 shows we have watched, I think this night overall was the weakest. And out of the 4 main events I've watched, this might have been the weakest. I don't know. Like, I just, it was really good.
It was very consistent.
I thought these two worked very well together. It didn't feel. It didn't feel main event-ish. You know what I mean?
I was just gonna say it didn't feel like a main event-esque match, despite who was involved.
Maybe and I don't. It's not Lio. I think it's and not to shit on Ishimori, but he's been pulled down the card a good bit. Like you said, we haven't heard much from him. So him in a main event.
It was a little interesting.
We
did see him pick up his speed quite a bit, because you have to with someone like Lio Rush. So we did kind of see the more, I don't want to say athleticism of Ishimori, but Leo's no joke. He had to work a lot harder with him than, say, someone like Taguchi.
I don't know. Taguchi kind of just flows. He has that. Again, Taguchi's a chameleon in professional wrestling. He can work with it. He can working with it. But I thought you said you're good. We got to see a nasty German.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That sliding German through the ropes is awesome.
So good.
We call it a nasty German. Shout out to Nasty Nate Nixon. But yeah.
Everywhere we go.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I thought these two did good. Like when they were they worked together well. They had that handspring spin kick by Ishimori.
Mm-hmm.
Like he looks so smooth every time he does it, and it shouldn't look that easy to do that. You know what I mean? But it looks like he makes it. But he makes it look so effortless. But yeah, Ishimori goes to work on the shoulder again, hits the shoulder breaker, then La Mystica into the bone lock, and Leo gets to the ropes, but Ishimori rolls it back in, and then they work up, like they get up, and they kind of break it, and they go into like a backflip tombstone sequence, which I really did like. I really did like that. So yeah. Yeah, I thought these two did a really good job working together in this. It just, I don't know, it just didn't hit for me. I don't know what it is. It just.
I mean, it's getting later in the tournament now, right? Everyone's getting tired. They've blown all of their, the good stuff in the first couple nights of the show. It's hard to come up with so many unique things going into each and every single day. We are going to end up with these kind of, I'll say like lull shows. And to be honest, we need it as much as the wrestlers need it.
Yeah.
Can't have too high of expectations.
I just think it's the fact that Ishimori hasn't been in a main event spot in a long while. And I think that just, it didn't feel main eventish because it didn't feel like it was too. Leo Rush feels like a main eventer to me. As much as I love Ishimori and I think he's absolutely tremendous, it doesn't feel like a main eventer right now. And again, you have to bring guys up and down the card. And right now, Ishimori's kind of been brought down the card for a while. Again, he'll be on top again. We all know that. It's just, again, I think that's part
especially
of it.
with the association and new affiliation with Bullet Club there and David Finlay's new kind of style. Well, we should see a bunch of them starting to rise through those ranks.
Oh, very much so. At the end of the match, Leo Rush gets a head scissors out of the tombstone position, driving him face first into the mat, hits the Rush Hour springboard stunner, and hits the final hour frog splash, gets the win. Makes a speech pointing at a baby and a toddler and saying his kids are watching back home, seeing him undefeated. At the end of the day, it's all these people or who he does it for and why he feels alive. He said, "Look at me, I'm the best thing out there today." And he's known it since he was a child. And he will prove it when he wins this tournament. And then he goes over and like high fives the little toddler girl. And then the dad hands the baby to Leo Rush. Like, I'm not going to hand my baby to a professional wrestler. It just, I don't know how well they hold a kid. Yes, he's a dad. Don't get me wrong. He probably knows how to hold a kid. At least I think he's a dad because that's what he said. He said
he's got two kids, yeah.
Yeah, so he said his two kids were at home watching him. So he's a dad who's held the baby. He knows what he's doing. But still, you don't hand your baby to random people.
That is the blood of my ancestors. I'm not going to be handing it off to some random dude.
There you go. Again, fun. It was a fun main event. I just think after 4 nights, I think just overall this card was a kind of not that it was bad. There was good stuff on this card. It just for me, it didn't have the highlights that other nights didn't have the highlights of the other nights.
I agree. It was a slower night.
Yeah. So quickly, going to go over the point totals. A block, you have Leo Rush on top with 8, Speedball, Ishimori, and Teton with 6, TJP with 4. You got Douki, Sho, Hiromu, and Kushida with 2, and Taguchi with nothing. Sorry to say. Then you have in the B block, you have Eagles, Akira, and Desperado with 6, Kanemaru, Clark Connors, Dan Maloney, Master Wato, and Yo all with 4, Kevin Knight with 2, and Bushi with 0. We got, like, I think B Block's going to be a race. I really think who comes out at number 1 and 2. I have a feeling it's Leo Rush and either Kushida, who's going to make a comeback, or Mike Bailey, I think, are the two coming out. I really could see the top two, like Mike Bailey and Leo Rush being the two to come out of A Block. Now that I don't think Show's going to make it, because I still want to see Show versus Master Wato in the finals. I just don't. The way it's shaping up right now, I don't think either are going to make it. And I'm just like, again, I'm hopeful. I'm just hopeful. I want to see Wato do well.
I mean, Wato still has, 5 matches, 6 matches on there? 5 matches. Like, you never know. You never know.
Oh, it's still possible, because he's got what? Wato's got
5, I think.
He's got 4 points right now.
Yeah.
And he's still got 5 more matches. So that's a possibility of 14 points at the end. So again, it's still B Block is still anybody's game.
100%.
Yeah. So that one, it's except for Bushi. Like, except for Bushi. I'm sorry,
you have
Bushi.
to rub that salt in there, sir.
The thing is, Bushi can only max out at 10, and other guys are probably going to equal that, if not pass it. And there's going to be guys that have beaten him already that could equal.
As long as he's not lost.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to be. I think he might be. He might be the 0-9 guy this year. We don't know. But hopefully not. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting out of here. It's a long episode this week. We apologize for it being so long, but we're passionate. We want to talk professional wrestling.
I was going to say, no, we don't.
Go ahead.
No, I said, no, we don't. We don't apologize. That's all I wanted to say. We don't apologize.
No, you usually... Well, you can find us, myself, on Twitter, Mastodon, and hi, that Canada guy. Instagram at that Canada dude. You can find me on OLE, where I'm doing Marvel Talk, which will be coming up. We are gonna. I might have yelled a little loud on that one. Marvel Talk, where we're gonna be having a very special Across the Spider-Verse show coming up at the end of the month, along with a special episode 2 weeks later, right before we get into Secret Invasion. We'll be checking that out. And I want to, so that's at youtube.com/@our-local-establishment. You can check out all the Marvel Talk stuff and check out the Guardians of the Galaxy review I did. You could also check out all the great us. You can check out us right up here, Backbreaker Video.
All the great us. I love it.
Well, I was going to say all the great content, including us, but my words don't come out right. All the great content, including us, right up here at Backbreaker Video. You can find us. You can find Astrid and Cody with Making an Impact. You can find all Mike's great wrestling content, including his AEW watch-alongs from every Wednesday with Replay, which you can watch live on twitch.tv/MikeTheRef, which I did get to jump in tonight for like 5 minutes at the end because I was doing yard work and I only got to see part of Dynamite and I had to watch part of it on my phone. So yeah, you can check him out at youtube.com/@Backbreaker Video, twitch.tv for Mike the Ref, see all his live all gaming content. And if you want the replays of the game, a lot of great gaming content from him, PJC and Rick Jules. It's youtube.com/@Backbreaker_gaming.
And if you're wanting to watch NJPW, we will leave a link in the description box below. It is NJPW. Is it Dash?
No,
Dash World?
Stardom is Dash.
Right, NJPW-World.com. That one's going to be, again, in the description box below. It is approximately 999 yen. Or sorry, 999 yen, or approximately 10 Canadian. We just love Sean Spears here, except for it's not 10 Canadian anymore. It's like 7-something. 750, I think it is. Better deal than $10 though, right? If you're wanting to follow a Melball on social media, you can follow her on Twitter at Collins Melball, or you can follow her on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Mastodon at Melball Collins. You can also catch me on our Facebook page, Andre Melball's Wrestling Talk, up there, so I can model the new nails. Yes. Yes, queen. You can also catch me on our local establishment with my bi-weekly show, Paramindful, that I do with Alex the Werewolf and the sultry voice of Carl Carufel. We just dropped a episode this past Monday. It was just myself and Carl, as Alex was out, saving the world and everything. Guys got to do what guys got to do, or whatever. Talking about portals, gateways, and the haunted island of Poveglia in Italia. You can also catch me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube, where I do the ladies wrestling showcase with her every couple of weeks. We will be dropping this guy on Friday, so this afternoon you'll be able to catch a new episode of Ladies Wrestling Showcase, where Astrid and I will be on Astro Pizarro's YouTube down there where Andre is pointing, where we will be discussing the last year of Trinity and Mercedes Monet, who it's been the year anniversary now since they walked out on their WWE contracts there. So we're going to chronicle the things that they've kind of done. And also the night before, Resurgence is going to be happening, where Mercedes Monet will be challenging, I believe it is Stephanie Valquier, for the point, or for her challenge, or for her place, where what have you, in the NJPW Strong Women's Championship tournament. We will also see the beautiful Mama Gogo in there. Who is she taking on? Willow Nightingale. That's going to be an interesting challenge for Momo. I think she's up to it, though. Andre.
I'm a big fan of Willow. I'll tell you that right now. Get to meet her in person.
You're also a big fan of Momo.
That too. It's going to be insanely interesting to see.
You're torn.
And I'm going to be at Mel's house to watch that show.
Yes. We're going to eat some food. We're going to have some Terramana tequila. Anyway, that being said, that's going to be later tomorrow too for us. Anyway, that being said, Andre, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
No, I just want to say thank you very much for tuning in. Please comment down below. Please like, subscribe to the video on both Andre Melball Wrestling Talk and on Backbreaker Video.
Awesome sauce. And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will catch you next time. Adios.